Hello there! Here's a quick update about everything that is being worked on in developing Scriptcase AI. The batch translation feature was made to ensure smooth and easy localization. Empowered by Scriptcase's native features, the assistant can save time by handling heavy translation workloads. Upon creating a project, the assistant will ask if you want it to also build a data dictionary and read our database structure in order to guess readable names for our lanes. Based on the names of the database fields and tables, the assistant will try and figure out the most appropriate name for each entity label in the default language of the project and then translate into the other languages. Let's check the translated labels in a new application. As expected, the labels are available in English and Italian. Back to the project, we can see the names of the fields the assistant used to infer the correct labels in this example. It can understand the meanings of the database entities, extrapolating from even the most unreadable names. The assistant can also translate other lanes unrelated to the data dictionary. Let's see it by creating a custom lane here. Now we can go to the project properties and add a new locale. Let's add Japanese. The assistant will notice that we added a new locale and will ask if we want it to translate existing langs from the default project locale into the new language added. By the way, all smart tasks loading times in this video are not sped up. This particular translation took about 10 seconds. We can see in the project that our new created language is already translated, as well as all links created by the data dictionary. On the app, we can also see a new way of editing langs directly from the application field editor. Quick lane changes now can be made without the need to fire up the language editor and search for indexes. The chat assistant was also improved. We are constantly improving on its speed, fluidity, and the quality of its answers. We have a new rendering that brings up the assistant answer to the screen as soon as it's available, to ensure the quickest time to first token in the chat window. The assistant now has follow-up buttons with suggestions on what it expects to be the next conversation point. The reasoning and the quality of the answer is also improved by using the latest models available. At the time this video is released, we support OpenAI's ChatGPT up to 5.4 and Google's Gemini up to 3.1 and their respective variations. We will maintain compatibility with earlier versions for as long as they are available. The coding abilities of the assistant are also improved. In this application, I already have a functional block of code on the on-record event that outputs an icon whether or not my customer has premium status. I want the assistant to make it better. Instead of the icon, I want the entire line to change color based on that information. When asked to apply changes to the editor, the assistant will perform an extra step, in which it sends the changes to the interface. The new code is inserted directly by the assistant, without the need to copy and paste. Let's run it and check the results. As we requested, the premium customers now have their lines highlighted. Some conveniences have been added to the generated SQLs as well. When asking the assistant to create an SQL based on your project connections, the assistant will try to predict which fields are more likely to contain the main data of that table. For example, I just asked for the assistant to create an SQL for my order tables and their relations. Notice how the assistant used the names of my customer and employee in the answer. This makes the generated SQL more direct and useful without editing. Various use cases can take advantage of the model improvements. Let's run a quick showcase of them. We have this control application for defining a new password, but there is no validation here yet. Notice that we already have 2 fields created on that app. The assistant can read those fields and figure out their purpose for the task we choose. In the Suggestions tab, you have just the right entry to test that out. This suggestion asks for the assistant to create code to validate password strength in an app. The code created is aware of the fields in this app and is personalized to run without the need to edit anything. Let's apply the code and test it out. First, we input just one field. There it is. The app now validates the matching fields. But what about strength? The assistant chose to require minimum length and the existence of uppercase, lowercase, and special characters, at least one of each. Fulfilling these requirements gives us a success message. Next, we ask the assistants to make a select of our premium customers and their data. This database has no flag for premium users, so the assistant assumed a credit limit above 5,000 as the condition for premium users. After a quick check of the record set, let's ask the assistant to use that select to create a page displaying these customers in a nice card grid. The assistant creates the entire page for blank caps, including styles and scripts. Let's check the results. What a nicely formatted view we have here. The assistant can also improve apps' performance by creating select statements for grid apps that don't require manual lookups after created. That SQL can be used as is to create our grid app. After creating that app, let us add in the joined columns that would have been manual lookups, tanking our app performance. Those columns not only require less resources to be added, they can also be ordered and searched. We've already shown the conversation's history, and we are working on how to better personalize the assistant experience, with features like favoriting history entries and creating personal conversation starters. And lastly, just for fun, I'll let the assistant create our ending screen using HTML and CSS as we wrap up this update video. We are all excited to share Scriptcase AI with our users and to make development even easier using Scriptcase. Keep an eye out for new updates and thank you for your support. Thanks for watching.